Hello and welcome to a video. I'm looking at a stack of books right now because this video is my lockdown book haul. We have been in lockdown for very many months and I've acquired quite a few books in that time. Quite a few. And what I'm going to be doing is just giving you a whistle-stop tour to all the books I have acquired. Now, what I'm not going to be doing is giving you a really detailed summary or tell you exactly my reviews for some of the books that I've already read from this pile, but I am going to tell you what the genre is and who the author is and what the book is. So we're going to kind of try and go through this quite quickly because there's two really tall stacks right next to me, but I don't want to make this boring for you, so I'll give you a very vague overview. I haven't read all of these yet as well. Some of them are ARCs, in which case I will tell you which publishers sent them to me. Some of them might have come out by now or be just about to come out. Let's crack on with this because there's so many. This is also in no particular order. I just grabbed these off my shelves because they were all on different shelves. I'm gonna really hate myself later basically for this, and I'm worried that I've missed some, but I'm pretty sure this is all of my newly acquired books. So let's go. First up is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is told in prose, it is a YA contemporary, and it is about a girl who very much likes poetry and discovers herself and her first love. Next up we've got Starfish by Akemi Dawn Bowman. This is about identity, family, and the beauty that emerges when we embrace ourselves. This is another YA contemporary. Then we have got Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan. This is a YA fantasy about a girl who is not in fact made of paper but of fire, which is quite unusual in this world apparently. Then there's Slay by Brittany Morris. This is a world in which VR is very popular and the main character of this book gets caught up in a VR world after school. I'm so excited to read this one. Then we have A Man Called Ove by Frederick Backman. This is about a very grumpy old man doing grumpy things, I think, and maybe he ends up not so grumpy at the end. This will be part of my translated books recommendations video once I have read all of the translated books. These two are also going to be featured in the translated blogs post, and these are both by Haruki Murakami. We have got Norwegian Wood and Kafka on the Shore. These, I believe, are both got some sort of magical realism, fantastical fantasy element to them. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't read them yet, but these ones are really high up on my TBR. Again, a lot of these books I haven't read yet because TBR problems. Then we have You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. This is what I'm currently reading. There's my bookmark. This is a YA contemporary about a girl who really needs to raise some money to get to school to study medicine, so she decides she's going to earn it by becoming prom queen. I forgot to mention this one was sent to me by Scholastic. Thank you. Then we have got The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. This I'm very excited about. This is about a witch movement being turned into like a feminist movement, or the other way around, a feminist movement becoming a witch movement. It looks absolutely amazing, and this one was sent to me by Orbit. Another arc from Orbit is The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. This is a fantasy in which there's an empire and there's bone shard constructs which are made of bones and they're creatures that people can control, and it's all about rebels and overthrowing the empire, and yeah. After I read The Poet X earlier this month, I went and bought both of Elizabeth Acevedo's other books. We've got Clap When You Land, which is a YA contemporary, I believe told through prose again, in which a girl's dad dies in a plane crash and it's about how she copes with that. And we've also got With the Fire on High, which is all about food, and I don't often read books about food because I don't often know of them, but I'm really excited to read this one. Apparently I think there's recipes scattered through it as well, so these both look absolutely amazing, and they physically look amazing too. They are very pretty. Another YA contemporary, Read with Pride by Lucy Powery. This is the sequel to the Paper and Heart Society, which is basically about a group of people in school in England that love books and form a book club, and the sequel here is about the library in their school banning, or not banning, making you have permission to take out LGBT books, and about how the students don't agree with that and fight out against it. Then we have got The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. This is beautiful. This is about the French Revolution and what would happen if it didn't come to pass, and I cannot wait to read this one. This one only came out a couple of days ago, but it is high up on my TBR. This next book might be the next one I read, so I'm very excited for this one, and that is Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barrow. This just, oh, it looks beautiful. It's about a person who can trade years of their life for magic, and I assume there's some epic battles type thing going on. It says The Last Witch Doctor on the front of it. I honestly don't know much going into this one, and I don't want to know much because I like when I don't know much about a fantasy and I can just explore it, so I'm so excited to read this one next. Then there is The Switch by Beth O'Leary. This is by the same author that wrote The Flat Share that I really enjoyed earlier in the year, a couple of months ago, I don't know. This is about a girl and an older lady who essentially switch bodies. It sounds really unique and I'm very excited to read it. This is an adult contemporary. Next up is A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. This is a YA fantasy about mermaids and it tackles sexism and racism, talks about finding yourself and the power of sisterhood. It sounds amazing and I'm really, really excited to read it. Then we've got The Henna Wars by Adiba Jagirda. This one got battered in the post, which is sad. This one took ages to arrive. So you know when you really, really have a book hyped up and you're like, I want it, I want it, I want it. So I really, really want to read this one. This is about a girl who comes out to her family as a lesbian. She's in a Muslim family, they do not agree with it, don't want her to be a lesbian, and basically she goes off and rediscovers a friendship with someone she used to be friends with, and now they're kind of battling against each other in this run your own business competition. This one sounds really, really good and I can't wait to read this on a sunny day coming up. Then we've got these two beautiful editions, Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. These are the Waterstones editions, they're stunning. Six of Crows, if you don't know, is essentially a heist type story. Imagine Oceans 12, 11, 13, whichever one, but with a small group of young misfits. It's a YA fantasy, is it a fantasy? Yeah, YA fantasy, and the first book was really good. I haven't read the second one yet, but this will make me read it. Then we have a very reflective Perfume by Patrick Suskind. This is a story about a murder. That's what it says on the front, and that's all I'm going to tell you because this is another one of my translated ones on my list and it looks very intriguing. It's very short, which makes me think it's probably going to be quite an intense murder story, but I'm excited. Next up is probably my newest edition, I think, which is Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is about a girl who is being accused of killing a baby and spends time in jail because of this, but did she really do it? Next up is a classic, a vintage Eco classic apparently. This is The Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco. This is another murder mystery type thing. It's a translated book again, but it also covers some historical fiction in it as well, I think. I'm not too sure, I'm trying to get my head around this one, but I'm very excited to read this because I love an in-depth murder mystery that also has integrations in from the past. That sounds exciting to me. Then we have got The Truth About the Harry Kubert Affair by Joel Dicker. Again, another one of my translated books. Are you seeing a theme here? I basically just went nuts buying translated books. This is about a girl who is found dead 30 years after she's gone missing or something like that, and found with her is the manuscript of an author that she was fairly close with at the time, I think. I might be getting that wrong, but it sounds very intriguing. I basically just did a massive order of any translated fiction that I was interested in, and what I'm going to hopefully do over the next 4 or 5 months is just start to slowly read them and then be able to form my recommendations blog post based on that. So I've got quite a few, but I will be getting to them all. Next up is Girl, Woman, Other. I've seen this one about all over the place at the moment. This is by Bernadine Everistone. It follows 12 different girls and their stories intertwining. Very excited to read this one. I've seen really, really good things about it. Finally, we've got The Declaration of the Rights of Magicians by H.G. Parry. H.G. Parry is fantastic. She wrote The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heep. Love that. This is set to be absolutely amazing. The tagline on the back says, "A sweeping tale of revolution and wonder in a world not quite like our own." I'm so excited to read this one. This is within my next 3 books to read. And this one was very kindly sent to me by Orbit as well, so thank you, Orbit. I've also got a load of books on my Kindle as well, but I don't want to go into hauling all of those ones as well because I just buy very easily on my Kindle when I see a book for 99p. Also giving an honorary mention to All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. This is a memoir about George's life growing up in America as a black gay teen. This is really aimed at teens, but I think anyone can read it and probably should give it a read. It's very short. It's also available on Scribd, which is how I listen to it, but I ordered this about 2.5 weeks ago and it hasn't arrived yet. But I didn't want to put off the haul any longer, so this is coming, it's just not here. Pretend it's here. That is all the books I'm hauling, I think. I'm just looking around my room now thinking, have I missed any? If I have, you won't even know. So this is a lot of books. Not all of these I purchased myself. Some of them are gifted by publishers and others I purchased myself. Oh god, there's so many. Also, I've not read barely any of them yet because all the books I've been reading for the past 2 months have been on TBRs that I've had to set myself. So I haven't been able to put these books in because I've only acquired these recently, if that makes sense. So I am desperate to read some of these because I've been really reining it in to not read them and break my TBR. So yes, next month I'm just gonna go nuts. I'm gonna read all the books. which means I'm probably going to read none of the books, but hey ho. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. You can comment down below if you read any of these books or if you think I'm insane for hauling this many books. Lockdown has been a while, okay? You can subscribe if you want to see more of my videos and find out what I think of these books. Thank you so much for watching. Keep smiling and stay positive.